I was in 5th grade, and I just remember walking into class and the TV was already on.
Being a 16-year-old at the time, thinking what's going to happen after college or after high school when you're, going to be facing this.
And you don't realize what the world is.
I remember being scared, but then I remember thinking, well, I'm at school and all these people are with me, so it's fine.
When I was in high school, homecoming was a huge deal.
But when I look at these pictures, it looks like I was a baby.
Wearing the jacket was almost like a boys' club, I feel like, because back then it was cool to have them. I don't see many kids with them now.
Being that it's a small school, you either work hard or you don't, and you're rewarded for it if you do, because you get noticed in a small school.
Being at Speedway, we don't let people make excuses.
The expectation is just higher for you as a teacher, I feel like, because it's expected all the time.
And you don't want to be the person that drops the ball.
Right.
Times change. What's timeless is the pride and commitment of Speedway's alumni. 1 out of 6 Speedway teachers is also a Speedway graduate. And that continuity through the generations is part of Speedway Schools' DNA.
Ready to rock?
Ready to roll!
Perfect. Okay, Oreo.
You'd never guess this is JoJo DeFeur's first year teaching.
Yesterday we had our debate about that. Okay, that's the first part.
She thrives on challenge, and she's carried on the lessons from becoming 2012 class valedictorian and the accolades she earned as its most honored female athlete in soccer, basketball, and softball. The value of leadership and a steely work ethic.
I always wanted to be the best athlete, and to be the best athlete I had to work hard and go in early and train, and I've kind of taken that over to here. If I want to be the best teacher for them, which I always want to be, then I have to get here early and I have to train to be the best teacher. And when you are amongst people who are so experienced and so great teachers here, I've had to show leadership and just trying to be my best. So you like the learning that you got to do at the museum, or that you do every time you learn something new. So it was cool to be able to learn from experienced teachers and to be able to use some of the things that they've already done that I know works.
The growth in these newbie first graders amazes her.
Just seeing the success from the beginning of the year until the end, seeing the growth, not just academically, but emotionally, this age is so incredible.
And also what they've taught her.
I was excited to see that you could be such a close-knit family, and how much they mean to me is way more than I ever would have anticipated. So it's my favorite thing that I could have ever chosen to do. It's been incredible. I've absolutely loved it. I love coming every single morning. So it's been really good. It's even more rewarding than I thought it would be. Hi, I'm JoJo DeFeur, class of 2012. I'm a first grade teacher at Newby Elementary.
I grew up here, and I live like a block from my parents, which is wonderful. Where my brother's like a triangle. We're like all within a block, which is neat.
Hometown roots run deep for Whitley Emerson. Her entire family lives here and has gone through Speedway schools. And her family has a history of service. Her brother is a Speedway firefighter.
Like, I don't picture myself being anywhere else. And when I got out of school, I was a para here for 1.5 years. So like, I never saw myself wanting to be in any other school district.
And now Speedway's 2009 award-winning Athlete of the Year teaches kindergarten at Allison Elementary. She's back at her home school, but her students can't quite grasp that.
They're like, "You were a kid?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Like I was just like you." And I brought in a picture and like showed them a picture, and they couldn't believe it. I just hope that they have passion for whatever it is that they want to do, and can grow up to be respectful in whatever area that they want to be. And I think that's something that Speedway really instills in you, is responsibility and respect. You had to be the bigger person. If you're from Speedway, that's what was expected of you. Whitley Duman, class of 2009, Allison Elementary, kindergarten teacher.
It'll be interesting to see one day if one of the kids that I have taught ends up becoming a teacher in Speedway.
Because that's just what happened to Lindsay Rakes Lang. Her kindergarten teacher at Wheeler Elementary, Cindy Boyle, inspired Lindsay through this poem.
She did instill that good enough is not quite what you strive for. It's you want to work beyond that and shine and be somebody who stands out. It's pretty sweet.
She did stand out scholastically, earning academic honors before returning to teach first grade at Wheeler.
I just wanted to be in a community that is so tight-knit and everybody supports each other and stuff. So that's Speedway to me. We're a family, and I tell them that every day, and something that if you were to ask them, what does Mrs. Lang really want you to learn? It's not reading, writing, or math, it's to be a good person. And I bet a lot of parents think that I'm thinking about their kids from 8 o'clock to 2:45 every day, but that's not the case. They are on my heart for the whole time I have them and beyond.
An acorn fell out of a tree and hit her on the tail.
It's fun teaching in a place where I grew up, and I'm able to give back to the town that gave so much to me as a kid too.
Lindsay Lang, class of 2006, and I teach first grade at Wheeler.
When Shelby Haas graduated as a spark plug in 2006, she knew she loved science, knew she wanted to teach at Speedway, and knew why. It was because of her longtime mentor and teacher, Nancy Harrison.
Just her being around, being interested in me, and like taking an interest in your life and helping you with things, being somebody to talk to. And then I saw that, and then I wanted to do that when I was a teacher.
Her classes focus on the rigor of science. But for these high school freshmen, there's something equally as important as the textbook or her lessons. And that is?
Feeling like you not necessarily have taught somebody something, but you've made an impact in their life, or have, like I have a student in this class that is interested in pursuing a science field. So I've been trying to talk to her about all the options, and she's a freshman, just now thinking about this. So I'm trying to gear her in the right direction for something she might be actually doing with her life. So I think that's fun, being able to see them grow. They're kids still, and so trying to get them to understand the point of graduation and why you want a high school diploma and why you want to go somewhere is sometimes something I struggle with.
Shelby Haas, class of 2006, and I teach science at Speedway High School.
Lettering in 3 sports before graduating Speedway in 2004, Eric Roseborough followed business careers across the country. That real-world background, he says, makes him a better teacher.
I think it adds credibility to what you're telling them, because it's not just I went to school to learn to teach, now I'm teaching it to you. I went to school to learn how to do something else, and now I'm telling you how it can help.
His approach is to make everything in his industrial technology classroom real-world applicable, including visits to Allison Transmission.
So they could see the manufacturing, and so they know that what they're doing on these computers out here actually is applicable, and they can also earn certifications through this class that looks really good for the resume.
Eric believes more important than textbook learning is actually doing and being accountable and responsible.
You know, they may not remember what they learned from bell to bell in your class all the time, but holding your students accountable is almost, if not more important sometimes than the subject you teach.
And what's his secret to teaching?
Relationships is a big thing. I teach in the same building with people who taught me. So that's kind of unique in a lot of ways. I don't want to screw up because they're down the hall, you know, and so if you can build that kind of relationship with a student to where they don't want to disappoint you, then they're going to achieve a lot more than just by simply passing a test.
Eric Roseborough, class of 2004. I'm an engineering, technology, and mathematics teacher at Speedway High School.
This is a harder one. They come in, you know, barely being able to read, and then they leave and they can read a chapter book, and it's just amazing, you know, to see in 9 months, what can happen.
Lauren Allen has a heart of service for her Allison first graders. She'll tell you it's partly because of, once again, her kindergarten teacher, Cindy Boyle, whose example and heartfelt notes about her led her to return here, where she went to school.
Cindy inspired me to be the teacher that she was, to be the nurturing, the person that the kids want to come and see every day and not want to leave on the weekends. I mean, that's the teacher that I want to be, and that's the teacher that she was for me as well. Speedway is awesome. They definitely do everything they can to keep the class sizes down.
She has 18 first graders. That's far lower than in many other districts, where class sizes are in the high 20s or even 30 in first grade. But in Speedway, she can individualize with these students, reaching their needs.
I love the aha moments, and I'm just shocked at how far they've come. They remember all those sight words. They remember all those phonics skills we've worked on. And it just, I think I'm more excited than they are. I'm just like, yay, you did it.
Lauren Allen, class of 2004, first grade teacher at Allison Elementary.
Sarah Miller excelled at Speedway High School. In many ways, she also persevered over challenges, and the power of that experience shaped her into who she is today.
Well, I grew up in International Village. I think it's called Brickyard Flats now. And there was kind of a stigma at that time that, I was a heartmate kid. Not from teachers, it was never from teachers, but other parents and other kids. Teachers never made me feel different. They always pushed me to do what I was supposed to do, and that's kind of what I push on my kids here, is that our differences help us. We learn from each other.
Dealing with hurdles herself made Sarah aware that these were the children she was called to teach.
Over time, I just really realized this is what I want to do. I want to help kids whose parents are busy, do have jobs, maybe aren't there for them every second of the day because of their family needs, and that's really when I decided I wanted to be a teacher.
Her students here at Allison Elementary speak 4 languages and hail from El Salvador, the Dominican Republic, Burma, and Africa.
So just really pushing that their background makes them special, and it's not something to be embarrassed about. I like that when I'm really able to connect with the child and just see that light bulb finally come on. It's just a great feeling. Sarah Miller, class of 2000. I teach 2nd grade at Allison Elementary.
Schools shape our community. What it is and what it will become. And because they were inspired here, Speedway's alumni teachers continue to inspire